I want to say thank you to all of my Patreon supporters who help support the channel. Also, I want to say thank you to my Twitch subscribers. Help the channel out by donating or go to patreon.com. Thank you. So, a lot of you guys may know that I am a fan of Richard Pryor. Not everything that he did, but I'm a big fan of a lot of things that he did. And if you joined the stream and you saw it on the stream, you actually see that I opened the stream with a Richard Pryor clip, and it's actually pretty. It's pretty it's pretty informed about it, but you know, it's one of those things where it's just like you when you think about it, it's deep as shit. But let's get to this other one that I found not too long ago. In here. Let's go ahead and start it up. And we can actually just review it. I saw some of it, but I didn't see all of it. But let's just review it and see Richard Pryor on people trying to sound black. Yeah, I know. This is from the Dick Cavett show, one of those shows in the 70s. And let's go. Let's speed it up a little bit. You know those people who go through life without drugs or drink? Well, I'm like that now. Okay, this is back when Richard Pryor was sober? Let's go.
Richard, I don't want to be obsessed with race, but this is a different angle I've really never heard anybody discuss. Can white writers write for you? You know what I mean?
If they write for the human being, then yes. If they if they try to write for some...
Oh yeah, this is after he stopped doing drugs. You can tell this is after he stopped doing drugs. Let's go.
Idea they have of what I would be as a black person, they usually cannot do that.
Can you tell when you get a page of dialogue that they have a T in the ear for what you sound like?
Yeah, I think if they just write, if I get a script just of a person, I can understand it a lot better than someone saying, and he's black, and he has all this, and you read it, it makes you sick, you know, when they write like that. And I would prefer they didn't, for me.
Yeah. What would be a case of somebody trying to sound black? Could you give an example?
You know, like, I mean, I know they don't mean any harm, but they don't realize how ignorant it is.
So, this is actually interesting because you hear Richard talk about how there are some people who think sounding black sound a specific way, or how they have a specific dialogue or dialect. And this is actually interesting, and wow. I know that there's a big thing about how, you know, you saw it with Dave Chappelle when he walked away from the Chappelle show, and how he felt that some people were trying to make him sound a specific way. Now, Dave Chappelle, the way he's doing jokes and shit like that, fuck him right now. But like, this is interesting. Like, if you don't understand somebody's culture, how do you come up with how they're supposed to sound? But let's go.
Trying to have that black voice that some whites try to do, that really don't do well.
Like, why you jive turkey?
Yeah.
Why don't you get out of here? You know, that kind of thing. Because they never really, I'm sure it's true of there are people like myself who do know what they're saying and could do it, I think is right. I honestly think I could.
Do what? What are you talking about?
I think I could write for you.
Watch where you going, man. Watch where you going. You caught the like most egregious part. Watch where you're going. Watch where you're going. I'm just saying, Okay, let's go.
in your vernacular because of.
But what is my vernacular?
Well, because I hang out with.
Yeah, but what is my vernacular?
Is he about to say because I have black friends? My man is about to say because I have black friends. No! No! Don't do it. Please don't do it. Oh God. Please don't do this. Don't do this. Don't. Just don't. Don't do this, man. Don't do. Okay, let's go.
What are you talking about?
Well, like this hog is all in my yoke.
Right, Dick. What are you talking about? I mean, you know, what is it? What is it that, what do you think I am? What do I talk like, something?
No, I simply know this, that when I,
Explain
I
yourself.
know that when,
He fucking got him. What was we saying about last video about certain people being a monolith? Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go.
now you know as well as I do that if you're with a group of friends you grew up with or something, and a couple of au-fait cats come about and talk, and you want to talk so they don't understand, you can, even as perhaps people from the Caribbean will suddenly go into a, like, have you ever been in the Caribbean where I'm just gonna move back a little bit, Richard.
No, I'm just trying to understand. I don't.
This is like that video, that clip of Samuel L. Jackson talking to that reporter. He was like, "Come on, we're gonna say the word. You want to say the word?" Like this, like he got him in a trap. He got him in a motherfucking trap. But let's go. I'm sorry. Okay, like Richard Pryor is just like, yeah. Please tell me more.
Here's exactly what I mean. In the Caribbean, there's a dialect that is English. It sounds like it's not.
Pidgin English.
Yeah, so a man, but they're actually saying, if you saw a transcript, the man at the desk will say to you, "Good evening, Mr. Cabot. We think we have your room ready in just a minute." How did you get my dial? On the other side up.
Yeah, did they, man?
And what he was saying is, why don't you take that luggage over on the other side there? When did you take that luggage over on the other side there?
Yeah.
But he didn't quite want me to know that he was correcting someone or something. Mm-hmm. So, how the hell did I get into this?
That's when you just like, I'm about to shut the fuck up. I'm about to shut the fuck up. Well, let's go.
Now, there's a lot of funny stuff in this book.
No, I'm trying to. I don't understand.
Well, what part don't you understand?
None of it.
No. My beginning question was, I thought, a simple, harmless one, which was, do you have the problem of a writer trying to write what he thinks is, what? The way a black guy would talk.
Do I have a problem with
when somebody hands you a script for something?
No.
No. Well, then why did you say that's a problem in the interview I read, in which you can't just hang my ass out here like this?
Wait. Okay.
So he gave him enough room to hang himself. He hung himself, but now he's addressing the question like he should have addressed the question. This is just hilarious. This is just hilarious. Now Richard knows that he doesn't mean any harm by what he said. He's just trying to actually understand it. And yeah, no, this is like you see these same awkward questions happening in a lot of cases. And this is one of the things, and I know I've said this before, Richard is handling it a lot better than a lot of, let's just say, woke schools will handle it now. They would have stormed off. You don't understand what I'm trying to say. Like, no, Richard is handling with class. And you can say that it's just funny. And he's trying to kind of bring them back. But no, this is like how you handle somebody who you feel is being insensitive. You don't sit back and you just you get mad and obviously Dick Cavett is trying to have. It's ironic. You have two dicks on stage. I know. Fuck. Okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, but you get what dude is trying to say, and he's actually not trying to be offensive. And this is just funny. I didn't think I was gonna have to pick this apart, but this is just hilarious. But let's go.
When was that interview?
Might have been several years old.
Then they don't apply right now.
Because the new Pryor is with us.
It's not a new Pryor, it's just I'm different about my feelings about people and about how I feel about them, how they feel about me.
Is that a gradual thing, or was it kind of an overnight change from after you survived the horror of your
No,
accident?
I just think it's for me, it's the way I want to be as a grown-up person. That's, you know, and I do the best I can, man.
Are you ever approached a lot to, say, do public service announcements and...
Public service announcement?
Oh, you know, like Richard, would you talk to kids, look into that camera and say, joke is bad?
I've been approached, but I don't know that helps. I mean, unfortunately, people have to do what they would like to do. You can only show them better, you can tell them. How you live is how they live. Usually if you don't have drink around and you're not alcoholic and you're not, you know, borderline alcoholic yourself, they tend not to have that problem. But if every time you have a problem, you take a pill or take some drink, they find it all right to do.
That's actually interesting. And you know what? It's one of those things, and you see it reoccurring with a lot of things. Ironically, and maybe because I been playing a lot of God of War, you see it with the story of Kratos in the 2018 games, of why he just is trying to get his son away from him being a little rage monster when Kratos is a big rage monster. And it's pretty interesting. It's just lead by example. But let's go.
Are you technically a recovered alcoholic?
Technically,
Or in fact?
I just say that a day at a time, I try not to drink. And so far, it'll be 3 years, God's been with me.
Now, how do you account for... Anyone opposed to that? I don't want to do that. How do you account for the fact that Murphy has never had any such problem?
I don't know him that well. So I wouldn't account for anything about him.
Is it different, though, in that if you were coming up now...
Yes.
So he's actually bringing up Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy has different issues that he was facing at the time. But yeah, let's go.
I was coming up now.
Supposedly, is it an easier climate for a young comic to come up now than, say, for Eddie, from what you came through?
I came through a lot.
Yeah, you did.
The period that I came through it was a lot.
You paid your dues and several other people.
Yeah, there was a lot. And he doesn't have to do that because I did it.
And there was no one ahead of you to do it for you.
Well, for me, I mean, Dick Gregory.
Dick Gregory, that's the
Dick
first,
Gregory made
right.
it possible for me.
Yeah.
And someone made it possible for Dick Gregory. You know, we just pass it on. Keep passing the torch.
Yeah. The name of your film.
Yeah.
JoJo?
Dancer.
JoJo, comma.
Dancer, your life is calling.
Yeah. And I think I was right when I said it's more biographical maybe than anything you've done before.
Yes, I would say that. I would say also that people coming to see this, it's not...
They're just talking about the movie right now. So let's just stop and bring it back here. That was an interesting video. I know I didn't have much to say about it, but now that was a very interesting video, because in the end, it just seems as if that some of it was the guy putting his foot in his mouth, talking about how writing for black people, which the industry still has a problem with, because it's a lot of stereotypes that you still see being used in writing and shit like that. So the industry still has a problem with it, but it's interesting, to say the least, that this shit is like 30 years old and we're still dealing with it. But let's go. I don't know what to say. It was an interesting video. I wanted to actually take the time to like review it. I know it's not that controversial, but I just think it's interesting to some of the stuff that we're still dealing with and shit like that. But anyway, if you like videos like this, let me know. Like, share, subscribe, and all that other good shit. And yeah, we're gonna cut this segment here.
If I gave myself the power